Do you struggle with mother wounds? So did I. And I'm still healing. So you're not in this alone. I want to thank those who have watched my series on overcoming dysfunction, the cycle of dysfunction, my survival story of being with a narcissistic mom. Now let me share with you 7 traits of mother wounds. My name is Demita B. I am an author, speaker, and entrepreneur. Trait number 1, our insecurities about our physical appearance and our body. Many of us are very critical about how we look. And most times our kids hear that, like, oh God, I need to lose some weight. I'm getting fat. And I've done that before. I've learned that my outside voice can affect my kids' inside voice. We have to be careful that we don't project our insecurities on our kids. No matter how much you esteem them, they really do listen to what you're saying about yourself. I know many of you watching this, you deal with your physical appearance because of things you might have heard your mother say. For example, I've heard my mom say, oh, Demita, you need to lose some weight. Don't let yourself go, girl. Well, anytime I was around her, I would always try to watch what I put on because I don't want her to see that I picked up more weight. I began to be more and more conscious of my physical body. That's a mother wound. Trait number 2, you compare yourself. You find yourself comparing yourself to your friends, comparing yourself to other people's accomplishments, comparing your marriage to somebody else's marriage. You find yourself comparing your kids to somebody else's kids. And the Bible says that he who compares himself among himself is not wise. That is a trait of our mother wound. Growing up, you probably have dealt with your mother comparing you with other people, whether it was other students, whether it was your family members, whether it was a friend. And I dealt with that growing up, always being compared to another individual. And it made me question my accomplishments. It made me question even my self-worth. So be careful of this trait of a mother wound of comparing yourself. The 3rd trait, fear of abandonment. Now, I know this firsthand. The fear of abandonment is you've experienced abandonment, whether it be emotional or physical, from your mom. And you go into relationships when somebody doesn't meet your expectations, then you immediately think they are deceiving you, they are, trying to play you, and it's not even the case. And many times it's that trait of the mother wound of you having the fear of abandonment, and we sabotage relationships because we become delusional into thinking that somebody's going to leave us emotionally or physically, like our mother did. Okay, here's the 4th trait. You struggle with keeping your emotions intact in a healthy way. So some of us self-soothe our emotions in a very dysfunctional manner, in a very unhealthy manner. And if somebody cross you the wrong way, if somebody do something sideways or say something sideways, we immediately act before we think. Because you've seen your mother, she basically was verbally abusive. She didn't even try to get an understanding from you. She immediately acted on something that you did. And so that has been passed down to you, and you find yourself, wait, why am I always tripping? Why am I, every time somebody say something, I go off? That's a trait of a mother wound. And you gotta work on healing so that we are not giving everybody a piece of our mind, because we need our peace. Trait number 5, you struggle with codependency in relationships. This is the person that is the enabler. You feel like you always have to fix things. If you watch the series, you know what I talked about as far as feeling like I needed to fix or solve their problems. This was a mother wound because my mother would come and talk about my father to me. And I always felt like I needed to be there for her, and I needed to fix whatever it is that they had problems with. And so in relationships, you go into these relationships feeling like you got to solve all the problems, feeling like you have to be in control to fix it, and you become an enabler. In addition to the codependency, you are attracted to people that need you. So enablers are attracted to people that are needy. And that is because of a mother wound. You are attracted to people that need you because when you were young or growing up, your mother depended on you. She was your best friend. She was the person that came to you. She dumped on you. You became a garbage can. And so now you feel like, okay, well, I got to be an enabler for somebody else. Letting them dump on you, always feeling like you are needed. You become everybody's Superman or Superwoman. That is a trait of a mother wound. Okay, number 6, the fear of not pleasing your mother. Guilty. I always had the fear of not pleasing her. I grew up trying to please my mother. If my mother was mad at somebody, I was mad at somebody because I didn't want her mad at me. You have to learn I'm doing too much to try to please her because I don't want to make her mad. Let's get over that. And the last trait number 7, the lack of self-trust, meaning the lack of self-confidence. You don't even trust the decisions that you make. You feel like you need somebody else to validate the decision you're about to make. And you have to be very careful for that, because you'll go into life thinking, I need to see what they think. You know how people say, let me know what you think. I'm about to do this. What you think? Instead of trusting your gut and trusting that this is the decision that God has led you to make, or this is the decision that's best for you or best for your family, but we're waiting for our mother or other people to validate the decision that we know we need to make. That is a trait of a mother wound. We don't trust the decisions that we make. If you've identified with any of those traits, let me know in the comment section. But don't forget to repost and reshare so that somebody else can get aware of these traits and also be free. You got this.